All right, so today we get back to basics with one of our favorite subjects. And one of the guys that played Hercules on the big screen was a mentor and training partner to Arnie, and there is at least a reasonable case to be made that he was drug free. He certainly was, at least in his early days in the 40s, before they even really had D-ball and so forth. Anyways, training was based around hard and heavy training focused on compound movements without gimmicks, extremes of frequency or volume, or special equipment, or insane diets, or any of that stuff. He usually gives options for rookies straight through to serious competitive bodybuilders on his routines and everything in between, as is again the case with this particular one. He starts with mentioning the old standby back moves that were pretty much the norm for the era and pretty much continue to be today, really. And then he offers these exercises as alternatives to be tried instead of, rather than in addition to, the regular stuff. Of course, you can pick and choose from any of these to add to your current back program if you're fairly happy with what you got, or you can opt to abandon your current routine in favor of doing this one, even if just temporarily. These are really just variations of old standbys. They're not anything completely from outer space. They will hit a bit differently. And while I do videos on extreme routines, as several of my last ones have been, I do experiment with this stuff too, and I've messed around with just about every program you can imagine. Really, I do tend to come back to these common sense, good old school routine based on honest hard work. So let's get into this one, and it's from '66, I believe it was, a Muscular Development magazine, and it's on developing thickness in particular in the back. So, though many of today's outstanding bodybuilders possess unusual arm development, massive thighs, and heavy pecs, very few of today's bodybuilders seem to have good back development. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to meet and see pictures of many great physiques, and the men whose back development impressed me the most were George Eiferman at 5'8", Jack Delinger at 5'6", Malcolm Brenner at 6'1", and here in South Africa, the fellow with one of the most outstanding backs is Eddie Silva. Eddie is 5'5" and possesses one of the most impressive backs I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I could not find any pics of Eddie. Of course, other well known bodybuilders such as Steve Reeves and Rex Revell, both of whom have wide spreading lats, but to my mind, they seem to lack the back thickness that the three previously mentioned fellows possessed. It is this thickness and density that gives these men the upper hand, in my opinion. And apart from the improved physical appearance that such outstanding backs impart, the health is also benefited considerably by regular back work. Most back exercises help to increase circulation, improve the muscle tone and strength, which in turn also stimulates the nervous system located in the back, especially in the lower back area. I am sure that most of muscular development readers are acquainted with such standard back exercises as deadlifts, bent over rowing with a barbell, chinning, lat machine pull down exercises, etc. But if you never tried any of the following exercises in the manner I've described here, then I strongly advise that you do try. I make this suggestion not only because it will be a diversion from your usual training routine, but because I feel sure that you will be pleased with the results that you will get. So, here are a few of the exercises for the back that you should include in your training if you wish to improve your overall back development. Okay, so we'll get into the exercises. Here's another suggestion that may help you obtain better back development. If your back is one of your weaker structures, I suggest that you do all these exercises first in your training routine. However, if your back development is on par with the rest of your physical development, then include these exercises anytime you desire. Beginners, however, should perform only 2 sets of each exercise given here and repeat them for 8 reps. The intermediates, those who have been training for at least a year, should do at least 3 sets of each exercise listed and the same number of reps. Advanced bodybuilders, those who have been training for at least 2 years or longer, should include at least 4 sets of each exercise and repeat each set for 8 repetitions. But the group that participates in physique contests who require sharper muscularity and good back development should do 5 sets of each exercise mentioned, or a total of 20 sets in all, while using the same number of repetitions that we mentioned, again, which would be 8 reps. The exercises I recommend here have been very effective in my own case, and I feel sure that you will improve your back development. All these exercises must be done in the manner I've described them to be effective. Any deviation may lessen their developmental value and may not bring one on the benefits one seeks. I suggest that you do them as described, performing the required number of sets and reps. If you do this, you are certain to improve your entire back, a back that will be strong and well shaped. It will be worth concentrating on for a few weeks. It can change your entire appearance for the better, of course. All right, so that's about it for the routine. Um, Thanks for watching. If you do like the video, please hit those thumbs up buttons. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You'll get notifications when I put new videos, and it helps out the channel. So that's about it. Thanks, and I'm out.